Hi, I'm Miraj and you are watching Tech It Out. Now, India was the cynosure of all eyes this week with the AI Impact Summit. Not content just to be part of the conversation around AI, India wanted to lead the narrative. We'll bring you all the key takeaways and the highlights from the summit. From there, we'll move to real world impact and look at how AI-powered cameras are keeping an eye on swimmers in Australia. We'll also look at these very special ecosystems that are being built in multiple cities around India for developing world models of AI. And finally, we'll see why China is betting big on robotics. That and more coming up in this episode of Tech It Out. The tech bros are in town, from Dario Amodei to Demis Hassabis to Sundar Pichai. Big tech was out in full force at the India AI Summit 2026. But it wasn't just the big guys. Even startups, small innovators, right down to students who've developed interesting AI applications were displaying their products and apps at the summit. Now, if you were here, you would know that it was almost impossible to hear everybody and see everything. Thankfully for that, you have us. Here's a highlight reel of everything you saw and everything you missed. We're at hall number 4 at the AI Impact Summit 2026. Over 500 exhibitors from around the world have come and they're displaying technology, apps, products powered by AI. Now this is where things get really interesting, because this is where you can really tell where AI is right now as opposed to where people say it is. We're going to walk around, talk to a few founders and builders, try and understand what they're building and why it matters.
February 2026. For 5 days, New Delhi, India became one of the centers of the artificial intelligence world. Inside the sprawling Bharat Mandapam, heads of state, researchers, startup founders, tech executives and thousands of people interested in AI gathered for the India AI Impact Summit 2026, one of the largest global AI gatherings ever held in the world and the first in the global south.
Well, congratulations to India for taking this responsibility of organizing the AI Impact Summit.
The event reflected a simple reality. Artificial intelligence has moved beyond experimentation and become infrastructure. The scale of the event revealed itself quite quickly. Nearly 70,000 square meters of exhibition space brought together hundreds of companies and more than 700 sessions running simultaneously. The expo unfolded across 7 thematic chakras covering human capital, scientific innovation, sustainability, governance, safety, access to computing power, and artificial intelligence for social impact. Delegations arrived from across Europe, Africa, Asia, and the Americas, while more than 20 heads of state walked the halls. The language of the summit shifted constantly between innovation, policy, and geopolitics. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the summit and presented a human-centered vision of artificial intelligence built around inclusion and real-world deployment.
मुझे विश्वास है कि यह समिट एक ह्यूमन सेंट्रिक, सेंसिटिव, ग्लोबल एआई इकोसिस्टम के निर्माण में अहम भूमिका निभाएगा.
French President Emmanuel Macron joined other global leaders in discussions around governance and digital sovereignty. Meanwhile, the architects of modern AI filled packed auditoriums. Google CEO Sundar Pichai, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei, and DeepMind's Demis Hassabis spoke alongside researchers such as the godfathers of AI, Yoshua Bengio and Yann LeCun, debating risks, alignment, and the pace of technological acceleration. The conversations felt less speculative than in the recent past.
First, I want to thank Prime Minister Modi for bringing us together. The energy and ambition in this room and across India are incredible. I've been spending the last few days meeting with Indian builders and enterprises, and the energy to build together here is palpable, unlike anywhere else. This is the 4th AI Summit we've held since the tradition was initiated at Bletchley Park back in 2023, which I still remember. And in those 2.5 years, the advances in the technology have been absolutely staggering. Along with those, the advances in the commercial applications and the societal and ethical questions around the technology have only grown more urgent. My fundamental view is that AI has been on an exponential for the last 10 years.
AI is no longer a future scenario. It's already shaping policy, economies, and everyday life.
It's the same themes, really. AI is everywhere. So whether it's cybersecurity, whether it is data centers, whether it is health, whether it's education, AI has managed to get intertwined with pretty much every aspect of our lives, and it's almost like all those aspects are represented here. It's amazing.
Across the exhibition floor, the focus remained practical. Multilingual language models designed for India's diverse linguistic reality. For farmers to predict crop patterns using climate data. Healthcare systems focused on early diagnosis, and education platforms showed how learning could scale across millions of users.
So this is the Amazon booth, if you want to call it that. It's a humongous space. And this is Amazon Web Services area and a large number of apps that have been built on top of AWS.
So we are basically trying to see where AI can solve healthcare problems.
Sure. I mean, a lot of people are trying to do that. What makes it different?
Yeah. So a couple of things makes us different. We have the largest available data sets on AWS.
Oh, really? How
publicly
did you get
available. We have been working in the healthcare space for quite a long period of time, and we incentivize companies to kind of basically make their data public.
Who is we?
AWS.
AWS.
So we store.
You're from AWS?
Yes, I'm from AWS. Okay. So we have something called as registry of open data on AWS. And
of course you have the biggest database.
Yes, so and that kind of, with their consent and patient notified, then all of this data can be used by companies to kind of build their own solutions.
India positioned itself as a testing ground, a place where AI has to function across multiple languages, topography, uneven connectivity, and a massive population. It was not always polished, but it was certainly tangible. Beneath the optimism ran a deeper debate. Questions emerged around who controls infrastructure, who trains the models, and whether countries risk becoming dependent on technologies built elsewhere. Sovereign AI became a recurrent phrase and reflected the idea that nations need their own compute capacity, data frameworks, and governance structures. Researchers warned about widening gaps between AI producers and users, while policymakers discussed regulation, safety, and accountability in an environment where innovation is moving faster than oversight.
Artificial intelligence will be an enabler for our humanity to innovate faster, to disrupt healthcare, energy, mobility, agriculture, public services for the good of mankind. Both of us, we do believe in this revolution. 1 year ago, the landscape started to shift. The US announced Stargate, China launched DeepSeek. AI has become a major field of strategic competition, and big tech got even bigger. And a lot of them are in this room and still accelerated during the last year.
Away from the main stages, the summit felt more human. Crowded corridors and delegates rushing between sessions offered reminders that even the most advanced technology gathering still depended on logistics and people. Yet the energy rarely faded. AI was no longer a niche, it had become a shared global priority.
Okay, we're at the Qualcomm showcase area at the AI Impact Summit, and we managed to corner Manmeet Singh Juneja, who heads IoT, robotics, AI, everything in Qualcomm. Tell me something, how is business?
Business is doing pretty good. I think we were a mobile company, but now you can see how much we have diversified into IoT, auto, robotics. We are coming into data centers. So it's like Qualcomm diversification story is very well working.
Throughout the week, India positioned itself not just as a host but as a participant, shaping the direction of the conversation. A country large enough to test technology at scale and ambitious enough to influence how AI should be governed globally. The emphasis shifted subtly from competition toward collaboration and from hype toward deployment. But besides all the collaborations, discussions, and agreements, the summit created a momentum and clarified to the world that the future of AI does not belong to a single country, company, or idea. It will continue to be negotiated continuously and by many voices.
Now, there's one thing that everybody agrees upon at the Impact Summit is that the future of artificial intelligence lies in world models. Now, these are models that help AI navigate the real world. How they understand it, how they interpret it, and how they predict what's going to happen next is what's going to determine, for example, how humanoids work in the real world. Now, that's a great opener for our next story. We're looking at these ecosystem cities being built in a few Indian cities that are being created specifically to train world models. Not by simulation, but in the real world.
From code campuses to intelligent neighborhoods, India is no longer just exporting technology to the world, it is beginning to design cities around technology. From signals that adapt to real-time traffic to control rooms that spot risks before they turn into crises, artificial intelligence is quietly redrawing the urban playbook. AI-powered urban zones are taking shape in Bengaluru and Hyderabad. How did we get here? First came smart cities, built around cameras, connected devices and digital control rooms. Then came data-driven cities where live information from roads, buses, utilities and streetlights started flowing into a single system. Now comes the next leap, AI cities. Cities that don't just display data, they interpret it, anticipate traffic buildups, spot flood risks, detect accidents and fine-tune power and water supply on their own. One of the biggest proving grounds for this future is Bengaluru. Long seen as India's tech capital, the city is now pushing towards an AI-led urban model. One of the most watched projects is a proposed AI city initiative by BharatOne.ai. The plan is to build a functioning urban district where AI research labs, startups, data centers, and city-scale systems coexist in the same physical space. Not just an office hub, but a real-world test environment, where AI can be applied to traffic flow, public safety, energy use, and city planning, live on the ground. WION's tech editor, Miraj Shah, spoke to the man behind this idea, Umakant Soni, who explained the purpose behind the AI City project.
Right now, whatever models that we are calling as foundational, they're not foundational. So LLMs are not enough. You know, you need world models to prove the AI. So LLMs are working in language and reasoning, but you need world models, right?
Of course.
For this AI to come out of lab and work in our real world.
Jan LeCun has been working on that.
Of course.
Yes.
But the biggest challenge in world models is that we don't have data. So for LLMs to emerge, we had internet, right? But now, where is the internet for the real world? We don't have it. The challenge is that we don't have a city scale simulator for the world. And because of that, these world models are not going to be there, right? So what we are saying is that, one, we need to have the city scale simulator. That's why this city is the city that we are trying to build.
That is what you're building?
Yes.
Okay.
And the second thing, so that it can provide data for the world models to emerge.
I see,
right?
okay.
The second thing is that now the city has to have ecosystem which is having humanity at the center. So how do we bring the marriage of humans, agents and robots together in one place is what this
one physical place.
And whether see that what is the model that is sustainable. Our sense is that humans, we have only scratched 2 or 3% of our potential. We have not gone beyond that.
Or very few have.
Very few have. You're absolutely right. Most of us, we haven't, right? So maybe this becomes the place for us to explore a lot more things.
At the same time, the government of Karnataka is examining new technology-focused urban clusters around the greater Bengaluru region to ease pressure on the core city and plan the next phase of growth from scratch. Now move across to Hyderabad, a city that has already built a strong reputation as a data and IT hub. And now it wants to go beyond back-office technology. The government of Telangana has announced plans for a dedicated AI city near Hyderabad, a large purpose-built zone focused on artificial intelligence, digital infrastructure and next-gen urban services. The aim is to bring startups, global tech companies, research institutions and government platforms into a single AI-driven urban ecosystem. Put simply, Hyderabad is trying to build a city layer where AI supports everything. from transport and energy systems to health services, classrooms, and public safety. So what really separates an AI city from a smart city? AI cities move from monitoring to prediction. They can model traffic pressure in advance, identify failing infrastructure before breakdowns, and automatically rank emergency priorities. Cameras don't just capture images, they interpret events. Command centers don't just watch the screens, they receive decision support. Digital twins simulate how neighborhoods, roads, and utilities will evolve before concrete is poured. For a country urbanizing at scale, AI is being positioned as a way to stretch limited land, water, energy, and manpower. Now to India's East Coast. The government of Andhra Pradesh is pushing a new data city concept in Visakhapatnam. Positioned as a digital and data-driven urban hub, the idea is to create a dedicated zone for data centers, cloud infrastructure, AI platforms, and analytics companies, supported by high-capacity power, connectivity, and security systems. Officials say the data city is meant to anchor AI research, digital governance, and large-scale data processing, turning Visakhapatnam into a key backbone city for India's emerging AI and digital economy.
On day 3 of the summit, there was some needless controversy over Galgotia's university allegedly being asked to vacate the premises of the summit because they displayed a robo-dog made by Unitree, which is a Chinese robotics company. We're not going to comment on that, but it's a great opener into our next story, which is about the Spring Fair in China, which showcased the country's latest robotics. Have a look.
At the 2026 Spring Festival Gala in China, the stage belonged not just to singers and dancers, but to a new kind of performer. AI-embodied humanoid robots stepped into the spotlight, moving with speed, balance and confidence. In front of a national audience, hosted by China Media Group, the show turned a celebration of the new year into a showcase of how far China's robotics industry has come. Humanoid robots took part in comedy sketches, performed choreographed routines, and shared the stage with young kung fu artists. One sequence stood out: a formation of robots and child performers moved side by side, delivering synchronized martial arts stunts with swords, poles, nunchucks in tight, precise formation. The result was less a tech demo and more a theatrical performance, designed to blur the line between human and machine movement. Behind the spectacle, 4 emerging robot makers were put in front of the nation: Unitree Robotics, Galbot, Notix, and Magic Lab.
This program includes many technologies that did not exist prior to our participation in the Spring Festival Gala. These technologies were all developed recently.
The program's opening segments featured humanoids in extended action sequences, including a technically demanding routine inspired by traditional drunken boxing. Robots staggered, lost balance, fell backwards and then recovered in real time. It was a public display of multi-robot coordination and fault recovery systems, showing how machines can adapt when a move doesn't go as planned. Away from the fight choreography, the robots also demonstrated quieter everyday skills: folding clothes and even rolling walnuts, a traditional hand exercise associated with dexterity and health. The Spring Festival Gala has been a fixture of Chinese homes since 1983 and is recognized by Guinness World Records as the most watched annual television program on Earth. The festival itself is now listed by UNESCO as part of world's intangible cultural heritage. In this year's edition of the show, humanoid robots were presented as a strategic industry and a pillar of future manufacturing. On a night meant to mark a new year, China also offered a glimpse of a different kind of future, where the next generation of factory workers, co-performers and co-creators may no longer be human at all.
From the summit to a case of real-world impact, our next story is about these AI-powered cameras that are being used in Australia to keep an eye out for swimmers, making lifeguards' jobs easier, saving lives literally.
Swimming pools in Australia are taking safety to a whole new level. It's no longer just lifeguards keeping watch. As children splash and families enjoy the summer sun, technology is silently scanning the water, watching every move. With every splash and turn, smart cameras and AI software analyze movements instantly, ready to alert lifeguards the moment something goes wrong.
AI-based software that is analyzing people's movement in the water.
Upgraded CCTV systems monitor swimmers, tracking how long they remain underwater and alerting lifeguards in real time. The aim is clear: to detect distress and prevent tragedy. At some pools, lifeguards receive alerts directly on smartwatches.
It also gives them sort of eyes in the back of their head. They feel really safe and secure having another tool to help them recognise an incident.
This technology provides an extra set of eyes, helping staff feel more confident while monitoring the water. According to national figures, more than 350 people drowned last year, 27% above the decade average. The AI system is being rolled out to boost drowning prevention across Australia's aquatic centres. The system has already made a difference in saving lives.
And they're constantly in a state of elevated stress because of the risk that someone could drown on that shift. And so having this extra layer of support, we're already seeing in the sort of psychosocial impact research that we're doing, that lifeguards are feeling more confident.
More than 100 pools nationwide have adopted the technology, which can identify early warning signs and alert lifeguards to potential incidents. This early detection allows swift action, reducing the risk of fatalities and improving overall pool safety. Despite the positive results, experts warn against over-reliance on technology.
How are we going to prevent over-reliance on the technology? How are we going to prevent skill degradation in lifeguards, in detecting people who are drowning in a pool?
Training and human vigilance remain crucial, ensuring lifeguards retain the skills to recognize and respond to drowning without depending solely on AI. Pool operators have incorporated guidelines and modules to make sure the system complements, not replaces, human supervision. The technology is designed to add an extra layer of safety, monitoring swimmers and providing real-time alerts. With AI and lifeguards working together, pools can offer a safer environment for everyone. Early detection and smart alerts help prevent tragedies, ensuring summer swimmers can enjoy the water with greater peace of mind. As Australia faces hotter summers and busier pools, AI-powered monitoring shows how technology can aid human efforts in life-saving. This combination of innovation and trained lifeguards represents the future of water safety, where every second counts and every alert can save a life.
What a week it's been at the India AI Summit 2026. And really, what a treat to listen to some of these guys in the flesh. Demis Hassab is talking about the future of AGI, Jan LeCun talking about world models, Joshua Bengio, as usual, sounding the alarm about ethical issues that we need to think about when talking about AI. But the one thing that is going to stick out in my memory is something that Dame Wendy Hall said when she was talking about human-centered AI. And she said that as humans, we don't fully understand consciousness, and yet we are trying to imbue it into machines. We really need to think about what we're doing. I'm going to stick my neck out and say that, well, in India, I think we do know a little more about the search for consciousness than perhaps in the West. But on that note, I'm going to take your leave. This is Miraj. Until next week, until the next episode of Take It Out, keep watching WION, keep watching Take It Out, like us on social media, and have a cracking weekend, people. Trala.